As I've mentioned in a previous video, I don't really make resolutions, but I do take time to reflect on what about this year worked for me, didn't work for me, what do I want to do more of, do less of. And so in my reflection, one of the things that I realized I wanted to set an intention for this year was around being more carefree and my opinions and sharing my opinions, if you will, and also being more open to voicing my needs when they come up rather than waiting till it becomes a necessity. This reflection came from a few different things, some conversations in my relationship, some reflections on just my behavior in the last year, and I really was surprised that this is what came up for me because I'm someone who's made some unconventional decisions. I clearly have made an unconventional choice in my career as a South Asian person. And so I've been okay over the years sharing my opinions and knowing that not everyone is going to accept them. So it's really interesting to sort of realize that I still have some of these tendencies. I'm very confident in that setting where if someone doesn't know me and is sharing their opinion, I can be pretty, okay for them to have their opinion. But what I realize is people that are really close to me, I am more mindful in how I share my opinion. And I think some of this is also from my professional experience. I am, as I've shared on this channel, I'm a therapist and a coach. And so there's a sort of poised persona, if you will, that I've been trained to have. And so that means that I'm poised in my opinions or my feelings and not being quick to sharing them. And over the years, I didn't realize that that's something that's so deeply rooted that I do that so naturally. And sometimes the consequence of that is I don't necessarily share my opinions as openly as I want to. The other thing that I realized this year was I tend to think of other people before myself. Now, this is something that's also deeply rooted for me, and I know I'm not alone in this sort of feeling. I'm the oldest in my sibling group, so I've sort of been a second mom to my siblings. And so it's been very natural for me when I have needs to immediately then think about other people's needs before mine, because that's something that comes incredibly easily for me. And the consequence of that is that I may not share my needs as readily and as easily until they really become a necessity. And this is something that I realized in my relationship this year, where my partner is extremely amazing and mature, and he's never put me down. He's never told me that I can't share my needs. And still, even with that supportive environment, there were moments where I would think about his needs before my own, and he's not asked me to do that. So I was very surprised that this sort of people-pleasing or thinking about others was so deeply rooted and is still here today. So my commitment and my intention for this upcoming year is to be more carefree in my opinions and sharing what is on my mind a little bit more freely, and also voicing my needs sooner rather than when they really become a necessity. Now, I know I'm not going to be perfect in this in any way, shape, or form, nor am I expecting myself to be perfect, but my hope is that it allows me this commitment that I'm making, this intentionality that I'm setting, that it allows me to really recognize when stuff comes up for me, when my old patterns come up, what's really going on for me. I will let you know at the end of the year how this goes for me and how successful, if I have been or not. But my hope really is that I can start practicing intercepting or disrupting some of the old patterns that I've had. I wanted to make this video because I know I'm not alone in feeling these feelings. I know I'm also not alone in thinking about others before myself. If you are someone that is feeling that way, I want you to know that it's completely okay. I also hope that you do prioritize yourself a little bit more and that you do set some intentions around voicing your opinions a little bit more than maybe you have. I know this won't be easy, and I know that there might be thoughts internally that will come up saying you have to follow your old pattern, you can't change it. But I really hope that you realize that it's okay to give yourself permission for wanting to voice your opinions, or it's okay to give yourself permission for your needs being a priority. Let me also know if this resonated with you and if you've been in situations where you've thought about others before yourself. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media at The Indian Counselor.